All right, let's move away from the all-star starters and let's talk about the play-in tournament. So the play-in tournament is something that we began last year, but is continuing this year, and I'm looking forward to it this year. I think it'll be pretty spicy, and they've modified it so that it's the 7th and the 8th versus the 9th and the 10th sort of structure. So it gives a few teams on the bubble, the playoffs, that little bit extra chance to get in. We're going to make our predictions just very early. I mean, we're only sort of a few games. Some teams have played way more than others, so we'll see how this all shakes out. But give us your prediction, Cal, on the East side first. Who do you think is going to be in that play-in tournament?
Well, I think it's going to be the Miami Heat and Atlanta Hawks will be in that 7-8. And they're going to have to go up against and fight up against the Charlotte Hornets and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay.
I've got I know Miami aren't doing well right now, but I still think they're going to jump up. They're going to be in the 7th or 8th seed. They will legitimately be a playoff team, and they're going to have to verse one of these 9 to 10s. So I've got them predicted to go against the Cavs. I think those Cavs will kind of stick around the 500-ish, a bit below. They're a bit hot right now. I think they're about 500, but I think they will drop off.
Yeah, so the 10 and 11 right now, so 10 wins, 11 losses. So your 7 to 10 matchup, what's that?
That's Miami versus Cleveland for me.
Yeah, okay. So that's just, okay, cool. And you've got Miami as the 7th seed.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I have a slightly different take on that. I've got the 7th seed being the Charlotte Hornets versus the 10th seed Miami Heat. I think the Miami Heat will beat the Charlotte Hornets. I think they will eventually get into the playoffs, but they may have to do it the long way because I was further down on you than on the Heat to begin with. They've definitely not even reached my expectations. But I do think they'll scrap and claw their way back in. I don't know. I just think they're a fair way down. I know it's earlier in the season, but like teams, I've actually got the Atlanta Hawks not in this discussion at all. I think they're going to be a 6th seed. So, and I have a team like Cleveland dropping down. There's just a lot of teams that are doing better than I thought. So I feel as though the Miami Heat have too much ground to make it up to get right back into that proper playoff picture. But in this matchup, I would probably pick them to win over Charlotte, just based on, the quality of the team that they are. But they've had a lot of injury and COVID struggles, so remains to be seen. But look, they're 7 and 13, 35% win percentage. That's pretty far down the list.
Yeah, but look, there's still a lot more games to play. And I'll tell you right now, Jimmy Butler is hearing you. He's taken the hate. and Spo's the amazing coach. We all know this.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
If anyone can bring it back, it's they're back now. They're healthy. Even Hero had some injuries. That the COVID hit them pretty badly. Now that they are kind of full strength, Jimmy's back. They'll definitely make a push, and they're a very good team. They were predicted in Vegas to have about 50 wins. They're now back to that team that they're healthy. They should, if they remain healthy, obviously is the one kind of disclaimer, but I have complete confidence in them that they'll make it up to the 7 or 8. I've got them at that 7. So okay. I have confidence in that team, man.
Fair enough. Look, I think it'll all be close around there, but I'm just hedging my bets a little bit. I think they won't make it quite that high. All right, who's your 8-9 matchup?
So 8-9 is that Atlanta Hawks versus Charlotte. I got Atlanta in the 8.
Oh, yep. Okay. Versus Charlotte. So just out of interest, where do you see Toronto finishing?
I reckon they're 11. They're just out of it for me.
Do you reckon they're out of it? Really?
Sorry, Toronto, but I reckon they're out.
Jeez. Okay. See, that surprises me because they're right up with the Charlotte Hornets and Cleveland Cavaliers, and I actually think that they're a better team than both those guys. So I think the Raptors are going to push up to the 8th seed and hold that, and they're going to verse the Chicago Bulls. Is my 8 versus 9.
You got the Bulls in there.
Yeah, I got the Bulls in there. Like they're sticking around. I think, I know we joked about it on our prediction podcast at the start, and Jermaine was very hot on them too. But I think they'll get there. Like their coaching difference. They're even struggling without Wendell Carter right now. But and they lost Larry Markin earlier in the season. So I think they've got some games that they can win. And I'm just looking at of these teams: Atlanta, Cleveland, Charlotte, Toronto, Chicago. That's the 6 through 10 matchup. I'm just the least confident in Cleveland. I just think that their team and roster it doesn't. I know they're doing all right, but I just have to think that it's going to drop off at some point. That their guards are still young. their bigs don't space the floor very well. Kevin Love is old and injury ridden, so I don't know. I haven't fully come around to the Cavs just yet.
Look, they don't need no Kevin Love. Kevin Love's garbage. He's trash. That team is good. And the reason I was tossing up between Cleveland and Toronto, and the reason I gave them the edge is I just kind of decided, you know what? With Jarrett Allen being the addition to that roster, he can put up 25 minutes a game and really contribute to that team because he's a perfect fit. You got Sexton playing like an all-star. If he maintains that, he definitely can kind of carry the offensive load with Garland making plays. And then you have Drummond doing his thing. I mean, it's just like one of those lineups. If you're a big man and you have to go up against Drummond and Jarrett Allen on a night, it's just like not something you want to look forward to. They're going to make you work.
They've got 48 minutes of like a good center rotation. I mean, I'm fairly down on Drummond, but I love Jarrett Allen.
Drummond gets a lot of hate. He can still contribute to
decent.
winning. Like
he's decent.
Him and Blake Griffin, and this is like, not all-star Blake Griffin really, right in the lower end of his career. That they made it to that was a 7th or 8th seed with those two players. Everyone else is pretty garbage. So yes, Drummond isn't like an amazing all-star, but he still can contribute to winning against certain teams.
Yeah, he's still a solid player. Look, I don't know. I feel like you're dogging the Raptors here. I don't know. I know that they've had a rough start to the season, but the last few games they're 6-4 in their last 10 games. They're starting to come back. They're starting to figure it out. Pascal Siakam's slowly he's shooting less threes, getting to the hoop a bit more. Fred VanVleet dropped bloody 54 points today, hit 11 threes. They've got talent on this roster. And, we love me some Nick Nurse. So they're well coached. I think you're doing a bit dirty. I think they're right around this team. And before the season, we predicted them to be well into playoffs. So I think that, I don't know. I'm disagreeing with your take that they'll fall out to the 10th. Because I think they're at the 9th right now, so you're expecting them to get worse.
Well, that's because I think Miami are going in there 100%. So someone's coming out.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know.
And I just have weird faith in Charlotte. I really like watching Charlotte. They're actually probably my favorite team to watch, and they play good basketball. They're hard to beat.
I've got them the highest. I've got them at the 7th of all these teams that we're talking about.
Team.
I mean, I do have Atlanta at 6 because I do think that they have done well, even with some injuries, and they're going to be full strength soon. So I think they'll be up there. But I don't know. I think you're doing the Raptors dirty. One team that we haven't mentioned, which we did predict earlier in our playoff prediction podcast, was the Washington Wizards. I think we're both waving the white flag for the Washington Wizards at the moment. I know they've missed a lot of games.
I'll say that.
They missed a lot of games from COVID, so they haven't played nearly as many games as other teams, but they're still 4-13. Like, that's rough. And Westbrook just seems has reverted to his old ways, but even worse. He's just jacking them up. I know he's had a couple of big games, but I don't know. This team just doesn't fill me with confidence. So I don't think they've got the chemistry or talent to make up this deficit that they put themselves in.
Yeah, look, to some degree, I do agree. I was kind of high on them. But look, that last game against Brooklyn, Westbrook was looking like old Westbrook. So on the flip side, maybe he had his COVID again. He had that, quad contusion. Maybe he wasn't quite healthy to begin the season. And if he does have a bit of a, swipe back, he could make a push for that 10th. I'm not going to rule him out yet. I think it's too early to rule him out.
Yeah.
Give it another month.
Yeah. I'm not confident, but it would not shock me if they made a big run and sort of made some noise and could potentially push that 10th spot in the East.